When's Billy going to come with the video? They text me, Billy, I need a VIP video.
I'm sure when you were growing up, 6 years old, 7 years old, you're like, I want to work in the car business, right? That was your dream as growing up.
I'm like, oh, I'm the janitor. How are the bathrooms?
I think you can find major success going from sales to manager back to sales, and then it would make you for an even bigger leap back to management.
Hello, I'll give you the deal. What if I took $500 off?
You don't just have good people that are enjoyable to be around. Why would people want to come to your showroom?
That's social media love. I'm not just trying to make money. I'm truly trying to change lives.
Welcome to another episode of the Social Showroom. Today we have Billy Sherm, an automotive legend who has been doing video for over 15 years to drive traffic to his showroom. And he is at a new dealership as a manager, and he has found a newfound love for making the videos as a manager to drive leads for him and his salespeople. And today we're going to get to know about him, his story, and everything that he has done in his automotive career. Billy, thanks for carving time out on the last day of the year to do this.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. We're actually coming in today off of our biggest day in our company's history. We've only opened early July. We delivered 19 cars on 20 ups yesterday. True story. Five of them five that I know of were directly off social media. Yeah, it's been great. You know, my owner has hired a media company. So even before I came on, his goal was to grow a grassroots type of dealership where people wanted to come in for the experience, for the people, for the videos, the high fives. And that is the element that I've brought into Sansone Jr.'s Keyport Kia.
So before I ask any questions about you or your past, I'm gonna pretend to be the owner of your dealership for 30 seconds. Why didn't you close that other deal?
Probably couldn't get them approved.
Yeah, I feel like that is exactly what the owner would say. Oh, you closed at 95%. Well, what about the other guy? Well, you couldn't have closed him too.
Yeah. It probably was 4 we didn't close. I think I had 3 deliveries that I never put in the showroom, in full transparency, but it was an epic day. A lot of fun. We did some great videos. And it's really been kind of like the vibe in our dealership. Like everyone's waiting. When's Billy going to come with the video? They text me, Billy, I need a VIP video. And then we run to our delivery bay and I make videos, and I really want to get them to doing the editing. And that's really the goal. But so far they feel comfortable with me doing it, and I'm happy to oblige.
Yeah, I love that. We're going to get into all that. I want to take it back, to the beginning of your automotive career. I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure when you were growing up, 6 years old, 7 years old, you're like, I want to work in the car business, right? That was your dream as growing up.
Yes, my whole entire life. Actually, I actually owned a trucking company. I worked my way up. I started as a salesman, was rather successful. I partnered up with a company, and 10 weeks in, I had a guy bounce a $96,000 check on my new company. Needless to say, I had just had my 3rd baby. So I had my 3rd child, and I had no income. As a matter of fact, I was negative. My buddy sold cars. He's like, Billy, everyone loves you. You got to come try this. And I'm like, I'll give it 3 months. And I was successful. And then from the 3 months, I was like, I'm going to give this 2 years till I hit management. And then guess what happened? I hit management 2 years in. I was blessed to have a long run as a manager, and then I went back to car sales on my own accord, and used all the tricks of the trade through. I run a daily. I won't say I run it. I'm one of the main characters in the daily podcast surrounding the car business. All we do is talk cars every morning, 6 days a week at 6:45 until I get here to work, which is usually around 8:30. So it's the car business has consumed my life. But when I went back to selling, I took all of these tricks and I was extremely successful. The Sansones, they know me from social media. They reached out to me. Hey, I know you know about my new dealership. I'm in. You had me at hello. And we've just been crushing all of the expectations.
Yeah, I think I want to hone in on that. But to anyone listening, I think there's going to be a major shift. And a lot of people doing what Billy just did. I think you can find major success going from sales to manager back to sales, and then it would make you for an even bigger leap back to management. But what was going on in your head that you were like, oh, sales manager, that's what a lot of people want to do, is go sales manager and then, GM, maybe own a store, that route. But you were like, I'm going to take a step back, which sounds
Sure.
like inevitably allowed you to jump forward. But what was that step back like? What was the thought process there?
Well, I was in a bad scenario. I went to a dealership and the whole dealership's gone. They own three dealerships. They're out of business. They're closed down at this point, but they were rather shady. And when you spent your whole career being the transparent, honest, fun car guy, and then you go somewhere and they're not making the payoffs in a timely manner. I was the beef eater, and it really wore me down because I did have the blessing to work for some good dealerships, and I left a great dealership to chase the title. I wanted the title again. And I mean, it was cool. It was great to be there, but I realized that the people there wasn't my place. So I actually took I made a post on Facebook, free agent. My Facebook went crazy, and the dealership closest to my house actually reached out to me, and he's like, Billy, I don't have management, but if you will come in here, you're going to do really well. And I did. It was like 2 minutes from my house. So I took the job. I sold 22 cars my first month on 25 ups. Swear to God.
The I'm sure the other salespeople love that, right? New guy coming in, lighting it up.
No, they were not very happy with me. But my energy, like I make friends. Like that's like I was there to help people. I was taking trades off. Like I was being very helpful. I just got lucky that they put me on the internet team, and I tend to do really well with internet leads and talking to people and developing relationships. I try to sell the experience once you're here and not so much focus on the numbers. And it's harder to do that when someone doesn't know me. And it's easier to do that when you've come to me through my videos on social media, which is like the last 30 days, 20 people have contacted me through social media. So my team has been the beneficiaries of all of that that social media love.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's like a funnel that loops back. It comes in through you down to the salesperson, and then as a manager, I'm sure that loops back up to you when they're selling cars and making money, right?
Oh, absolutely. I tell all of them I want every one of them to make more money than me. And that's the
Yeah.
God's honest truth. I really, really wholeheartedly do. My goal, right? And I'm that guy that comes in shaking. Like I just closed a deal right before I came up here. They had two kids, 3 and 2 years old, in the showroom with them. And when she shook my hand and said, "Yeah, no, we're going to do this deal," you know what she said to me? I can't thank you enough for how kid friendly you were and how you've engaged my children. I was high fiving the kids.
Yeah.
I tried to be the mayor of the showroom.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. And I want to, it's like, okay, you go back to the showroom, you're selling 20 cars a month plus. I'm sure you had some bigger months than that. Was it a big decision to be like, okay, now I'm ready to go manage for a good group, or were you poached once again? I think you mentioned that earlier that
So
someone.
very funny story on that, bro. My own dealership recognized what they had, and they created a hybrid position where I was asked to manage and sell cars at the same time. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It actually took me from the 20 car average to probably a 10 car average. Could you imagine having a customer that you're engaged in, they're loving the experience, and all of a sudden your page, Billy Sherman to the desk, and then they watch me go to close another deal? That was the
Yeah.
job I had. It
Yeah.
was they paid me well, but my why is to watch others succeed. And the blessing I've had at this dealership is my team is bought in to what I'm bringing to the table, which is energy, excitement, and most of all, enthusiasm. The three E's, baby. I bring it all day from the minute I get here till the minute I leave.
So at what point did you go from, sales, now you're hybrid to full blown? Correct me if I'm wrong, you're the GSM at this store, correct?
So I am not the GSM. I am actually a desking sales manager. The
Okay.
GSM is Brian. He's amazing. Me and him have clicked. I'm learning so much. I gave him a nickname, the Guru. Guy
The
can get
guru.
anything done, man. He's awesome. What we've realized, right, and why I really like this dealership and my owner is they recognize that we all have our strong suits and our weak suits. Taking someone like me who never was in finance and putting me into a desking management position, I'm doing it. Like I'm doing it well. I understand the desking, but I never did it before. And my strong suit is truly on the floor, talking to customers, getting them engaged in our social media, getting the Google reviews, and just building the brand. So moving forward in 2026, I'm really going to focus on that portion of the business as we hired a new manager that's going to start on the 6th, so he could kind of sit up at the desk and do more of the desking, and I could be out there training the staff, TOing them, like, on the phone. Everyone wants the number on the phone nowadays. Psh, I get them in, bro. I get them in. Worst case scenario, you're making a new friend in the car business, and I give you a plan to get you where you want to be when you come in.
Yeah. So you're for 26, you're gonna mold basically to the full-time floor manager. Is that the way I understand it?
Same position. I can get on and desk anytime I want. But what I'm going to do, I've created something called the Power Hour. So we were trying to run through Jonathan Dawson's Operation 22. Basically, it's like 11 salespeople selling 22 cars, 240 something cars. Keep the floor lean and mean so everybody eats, right? But what happens when you have a green staff, they're not ready. They can't handle three customers at once. They're just not there.
Yeah.
So if we hire a really skilled manager, that allows me to spend more of that time going out there doing the first pencil so they could see the way I'm setting up the deal, which is where I think right now where my team needs that help, and the ownership recognizes it. It was really the reason I was brought in here. We own 5 dealerships, so I could see me really at some point maybe even overseeing all the social media, not like a social media manager. Like I got to be on the floor talking to customers, but
You're like the director.
being more engaged, like in going maybe and making it, helping the salespeople, inspiring them to build their own brand and showing them how the videos are made and how I'm setting it up with the customers and showing them previous videos. And they're so excited by the time they're driving the car home. They're like, oh, Billy, when can I do my video? When can I do my video? It's really pretty cool.
That is that is really exciting, and I want to talk a little bit more about like your closing ability and some of your I don't want to call them tactics. That seems like but like the fun ways at which you engage customers. I can't think off the top of my head, but we were talking the other day. You said you had this funny
I
close that
do.
you would use. Let me hear it.
I actually used it today. I walk in. We have little They're not cubicles. They're like little areas. And with the new Kia design, we're like one of the new Kia setups. So we have that. So I just kind of snuck in and just stand there. And I look at them. They look at me. And my salesman knows who I'm there. And they know what's coming. I'm like, hi, who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm the janitor. How are the bathrooms? And they always start laughing. They always get a chuckle out of it. And I'm like, oh, I'm the part-time sales manager. How we doing? And I'll just try to feel it out. Like I'm not going to go in there for the kill and go to numbers unless I know you're that analytical dude. Like if I know you're the quote unquote pie face, we all know what that is in the car business. If I know that's you, I may tone it back a little bit. I know I come off really strong to some people,
Yeah.
but majority of the time, 95% of the time, I'm coming in guns blazing, high fiving, getting everyone. Did you love the car? No, did you love the car? Like I'm really trying to bro down before I get into the numbers. That's really the key. I'm gonna spend at least 30 seconds to a minute of hardcore broing down where I know that they have some kind of connection with me. And sometimes it's longer than that. Sometimes I don't talk about the numbers for 10 minutes. It really depends on the customer.
Energy sells cars to anybody listening. And something my manager told me day one, didn't really get it at first, and then you eventually get it. Persistence wears down resistance. And just
Oh,
being
yeah.
persistent, just having that energy and being persistent and being so confident in what you're doing. And I think it's a breath of fresh air. Most people come in, I am the executive general sales manager. Nice to meet you. You're like, I'm the janitor, bro. What's up? You know what I mean? Like you throw people off. And I think that's so important to kind of like disarm people. You know what I mean? Like, up here comes the closer, and then you say I'm the janitor. It's like de-armed instantly.
It's a pattern interruption.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. They're expecting something, and I hit them with something else. And I, laughter is my secret sauce. Like my people are laughing. I had a guy howling on my showroom floor yesterday, going how 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 because he was so happy that I got him approved on 2 car deals. It really it's mind blowing when people come in and they're expecting that. Hello, I'm the sales manager. I'm the blah, 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 blah. And then they get a guy like me. They're like, wait a second, I'm the boss. Other than the guy's name on the building, I make the call.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I don't like pull that card. Like I do downplay myself, but it's it's the laughter. Russ, I can't stress it enough. My son sells cars. He's 23. He's been doing it 5 years. He's crushing it. He doesn't work for me. But I told him right at 18, man, you got to figure out a way to get them to laugh with you. When
Yeah.
you got them laughing with you, they're trusting you, they're liking you. You have a way better chance at making a car deal.
So you think with all this training that's out there, dealerships should be training their salespeople how to be funnier?
I mean, listen, yeah, yeah. I hate to say it because I know my team, right? And I know how they are, who they are, and I take pride in that. That I know what drives each of my team members, right? And the people that are consistently higher gross, higher closing percentage, higher B-backs when they don't close them. It's always the people that have that sense of humor. It's the
Yeah.
people that know how to 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 really sell the sizzle, the ether in like, hey, why do business with Sansone Juniors? Like, what's the why? The Sansone advantage. And it's just, man, I can't stress enough. Just like people aren't going to come here and get that rudimentary. Hello, I will give you the deal. What if I took 500 off? Hell no, let's be real with me. You can afford to put down X and your budget is Y. What can I do to help get you there? You know what I mean? And it's I'm very direct, and the confidence is like you said, after 15 years, if you're not confident doing this, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stiff guys in automotive, a lot of boring guys. And, this is an experience based business. At least if you want to survive in 26 and moving forward, you could talk about AI, you could talk about automations, you can talk about processes, you could talk, well, we do this and that. And if you don't just have good people that are enjoyable to be around, why would people want to come to your showroom? I don't care what your tech stack is. I don't care what this is. If you don't have good, honest, fun people in your showroom, and I think a lot of dealers are missing that recipe, you're not going to have a vendor come in and implement this new strategy that's going to fix that. There's nothing on your website, there's no banner, there's no tool that's going to replace just having good people that are fun to be around. I think that's kind of cool how you guys are doing that in your showroom, and you're making a big difference. You just had a record day at the dealership, I think you just said.
On a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. Like we started the day with 10 appointments. That's crazy to me. I've had days we had 37 appointments and sold 12 cars. We come in with 10 appointments and sell 19, deliver 19 cars. Like you can't predict that. And I went home last night and I felt like I just woke up. I wanted to text all my friends. I wanted to talk to people. It was like a drug. It's like this is car business, what it could do for, like, can I tell you, it changed my life. I owned a business, right? Owned a business, but I am so much better off now than I was when I did that. And I'm able to do it having fun. Yes, I put in a lot of hours, right now, because I feel like we're building something huge, amazing. And once we're at that point, then I could pull it back. And when I say I work a lot of hours, it's like 6 days a week, half the month. I'll maybe take 2 days, two of my days off, but I'm here at least 10 to 12 hours a day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's needed to be done in the beginning. You know what I mean? I'm blessed that at 49 years old, I still have it in me to do it, because in 5, 6 years, maybe I won't. So I'm gonna grind right now while I can.
I think Sanson Juniors is incredibly lucky to have someone as bought in as you are to growing the company. A lot of people just show up and go through the motions, but I think that's a testament to the vision they have, because usually people aren't bought in unless they can see what's coming or what's on the other side. And if you're an owner and you feel like your employees aren't bought in, look deep inside yourself. Are you painting that vision? I said to my team yesterday, I said, hey, we don't promise somebody they're going to make 20 grand a month. We're not there yet, but paint that vision, paint the picture, paint the dream, because we are building something, and I'm inspirational about I'm really excited about what we're building, and you got to sell them on the dream because we don't have the money. And if you are a dealer owner, I mean, maybe you're at a position where you can do both, but hey, you're going to get paid, but we're going places. This could be
Yes.
huge for you. I think that motivates people more than even a paycheck.
Absolutely. I hope to gain. Hope to gain. I paint that picture. Yesterday morning, I made a little post where I poured into my people in the morning meeting. There was no negativity. I pointed out one exceptional thing every person on my staff did in the week before. And look at what happens. 19 deliveries, smooth, no chaos. It was awesome. And it's not that I beat down my team. I don't, but we have high expectations. Like if you leave a trade out front, I'm gonna call you out on it. You know what I mean? If you had someone in the showroom with you the day before and I see it's 10 a.m. and you haven't even reached out to them to thank them for coming into the dealership, let alone get them back in, thank them. I'm gonna call you out on it in a nice way the first time. But if it becomes a pattern, you know what I mean? We got to address it because we, every slot at my dealership, every desk is a certain amount of money, right? And as much as we like everybody, we have to hold everyone to certain standards because we are trying to be not just a good Kia dealership, we're trying to be the best, we're trying to be the biggest. And the fact that right now, as of yesterday, and we had a huge day yesterday, the start of the day, we were number 6 in the entire Northeast for new Kia sold and number 2 in our district, which is, and the number one person in our district is number 2 in the region. So we're really doing things nobody expected, and I truly believe it's a testament to the consistency now with social media. We treat everybody, whether you're the 470 or the 800, exactly the same. We're going to roll out that red carpet for you. We're going to tell you options and we're going to give you a game plan to purchase a car because I have a unique program here where I could help deep subprime people get approved on a car. Everyone else tells you no. I could tell you yes because I'm the bank. So if I like you, if you're a good person in a bad situation and I can't get you approved conventionally, if CAC said no, I will say yes. It's not inexpensive, but it's really quite an amazing way and an actual program that in 2 to 3 years your credit will be good. I'll get you out of that car into a brand new car.
I love that. Now, I want to talk through your recent journey here with Sanson Juniors. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the timeline, but I believe you said you've only been there for half a year.
I started on like July 26th.
And what about them made you say, you know what, I'm you've made a few changes in your career. I'm coming here and I'm going to build, build, build. It sounds like you wouldn't leave there for any offer. So it sounds the way I'm understanding
I
you were
wouldn't.
locked in. Yeah. So you're really locked in. What about their company and their growth vision, specifically speaking, made you say, I'm going to go do this?
Sure, I'll tell you. I have the answer. I know the answer. It's number one, Steve Rossler. I got to give Drive Centric some big time props out here. It's a CRM. I had become friendly with the CEO at multiple conferences. Great relationship. He comes to my podcast every morning, and he was like, Billy, I watch your social media. Why aren't you with Sansone Juniors? And I said, I don't know. They're the only dealership in my area I never worked for. I mean, we see each other at conferences. We're cool. We're all friends on Facebook. And he's like, I'm gonna make a phone call. And next thing you know, me and Paul Senior, the man his name's on the building, are having we're hanging out after a conference at a VIP event in Jersey. And he's like, I want you to talk to my son. And I'm like, I see all of his social media. He's like, and we see yours. And they called me in for an interview and hired me on the spot. He's like, what you do is what I want my team doing. So I told him flat out, I was like, I've never been on the desk. Like, I've never had the pencil. I've never called in deals. He's like, I don't care. I'll teach you. I want the other stuff you bring to the table. And 6 months in, I would definitely say I'm probably one of his better hires. He's very happy with what I'm bringing to the table, and my team is so simpatico. They get along. They don't fight over splits. They help each other. It's really a thing of beauty we're creating over here, Russ.
And I know 2026 is going to be the year of explosive growth for you guys. It sounds like you're really gearing up. What has the growth been like just by bringing you and your energy and your platform? Your social media brand looked like in 6 months. What the first half of the year versus the second half of the year.
So I was still doing it, but not like I am. I'll be honest, and it's not like I gotta give props where they're due, dog. You resparked me, bro. Like, so I was watching you when you first started doing your videos, right? You might not have seen. I've been watching you, bro, and it made me as the OG. Like when I made my first video, I'm not kidding, 14 years ago. No one else had done this. I'd never seen anybody do it. And then I see a young guy come on and do it better than I ever did it. I felt some kind of way. I was like, damn, this dude figured it out. And then something happened this year where I realized like I'm really growth minded and I can't let the fact that you're younger than me, that, you know, you're better looking than me, stop me from reaching out to you. And as soon as I told my owner I want to be trained by Russ, he's like, you got it, bro. Done. Make it happen. And I went on this crazy journey just to get in touch with you. That spanned like 4 days until my man Demetrius Naylor finally reached out to you and made the connection. I actually text him today to thank him for making that happen, because what you did, it wasn't that you gave me all these ideas, because quite frankly I did a lot of them years ago. I'd forgotten. You re-sparked my inspiration to do it every day. You taught me how to edit. I could not edit, bro, for my life. That video I did yesterday where I said I'm a sales manager, and that's really something I stole from you. Like I never would have thought to do that until I worked with you. In less than 24 hours, have 76 likes, 2,300 views just on TikTok, another 2,700 views on Instagram. I mean, that's crazy to me. Like my car videos used to get 500 to 700 views the last couple of years. Now I'm really starting to see that upward spike. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like it's really pretty it's pretty inspirational, it's pretty humbling, and it's really exciting. We have so much potential for 2026. You know, I have a, as you see behind me, I have a commercial division. I sell trucks at a Kia dealership. I have subprime. Like I can get anyone approved with $2,500 down. Literally, unless you're an Uber driver, I'll get you approved. It's phenomenal to have so many different ways to help people that are just looking for help, you know. And that's one thing that I take very seriously. I'm not just trying to make money. I'm truly trying to change lives. I'm truly trying to help, because we all need a car. At least in Jersey, you're not taking mass transportation. You know, you need a car. And
Yeah.
I'm helping people grow their credit. I'm giving people hope to gain. I'm putting people in cars they never dreamed they could own. And I'm making friends. I make a lot of friends doing this.
Yeah, it's incredible, and I think it's important to, to just remind you, it sounds like all you needed to do was just get more people to know who you were and what you did, and they would like you and then spend money with you. And that's kind of what social media does. It just brings in more people into your inner circle. Like what did the top sales guy have 20 years ago? A really big inner circle. But, Billy Sherm can't know 10,000 people, but 10,000 people can know Billy Sherm. And with your social media efforts, you've been able to accomplish that. I think you said 5 deals just yesterday from social media attributable. Who knows? Maybe some other people saw it. They don't mention it, whatever. And that's, I think, really, really cool. But you're also doing something else too, which is videos to the customers. Can you I know some
Oh,
dealers are really excited about that, want to do it, aren't sure where to start. Break down what you do.
I'm so happy you brought that up, because that's one of the reasons I didn't connect originally, because what I do isn't typically what you and your people do, right? What I've started doing 13 years ago was making it about the customer and the car and the experience. I would find someone to film us as I would, you know, talk about what happened. But then I created a gimmick. I got something called the happy feet. Everyone wanted to see my happy feet. I started doing these heel clicks at the end, jumping around like a madman. I would script some of them with the right customers. I would do something called new car karaoke. I have videos, no boosting, that have 30,000 views, right? And this is back 10 years ago, right? Of me singing actually freestyling. I used to rap, and I would do something called the live rap freestyle, and I would freestyle rap about all the used cars on my lot, and they would pull 30, 40, sometimes 50 people watching me live. And this is back in 2017, 2018, when no one else was doing it. And I would pull in, I'm not kidding, Russ, 20 to 25 sales a month just off social media. I would not take an internet lead. I would not work. I didn't want to take a fresh up. I had that much business just because of social media. And then when I got promoted to management, you know what I did? I stopped doing it consistently. And that killed me, bro. That's
Yeah.
why I'm rebuilding.
And I think we have found a lot of managers are doing a good job with the videos. Now you're sending videos to customers though too, correct? Like one-on-one, individual. Can you walk me through like what that looks like?
Sure.
You're not posting it. Maybe some you do, but you're
No.
you're actually like, hey Russ, hey Russ, it's Billy, and you're texting it to them or her through
Sure.
the CRM. Like, what does that look like?
So multiple ways. So if I'm really close on like an internet lead, someone that didn't come in, that's just shopping online, like I want them to have a face with the place. I want them to look me in the eyes and be like, yo, I could trust that dude. I think when I show up, he's gonna come in. So if I'm close, I'll be like, just come in, come on down, make him a quick little video. Hey, I want to put a face with the place. But what I'm doing as a manager that I've seen already a 15% jump since I started doing this consistently in my showroom visits.
Mm,
So my salespeople in BDC set an appointment. Obviously, we got Drive Centric, so I have Shelby doing like automated confirmations and stuff. But there is something special about having somebody do a 15-second video, call you out by name, and just saying thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. I see you're coming in today, and I just wanted to say thank you and ask for Billy. I'm the manager. I want to say hello to you personally. I have had no less than 15 people when I come in to you. Oh, you're the guy for the video. That was so nice. Or they reply and say that was such a nice touch. I had one woman. So we made the deal. It was only deep subprimes. And she goes, I thought y'all were going to say no. So I wasn't going to come in. But you seem so sincere and honest in your video. I figured I got nothing to lose. And she drove home in a car.
Wow. That's that's truly incredible, Billy. And I think everyone around you is lucky to have you. The Sansone Juniors, they're so lucky to have you on your team. I think 2026. I look forward. We'll do this again at the end of 2026. I like to ask this question. It's going to be my new question I started asking my podcast. You're in a room. Every dealer in the world is in this room, and you got 1 minute, and you got to tell them how to sell more cars in 2026. What are you saying in that 1 minute?
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you want your showroom to blow up? Do you want to have salespeople that are bought in? Make it a fun environment. Don't be afraid to let them laugh. Don't be afraid to, you know, be a person, be a real individual, and don't be afraid to ask them to leave you a Google review, to follow you on social media. Give them a reason why. Hey, I'm going to be giving away oil changes. Hey, I'm going to be giving great information and news. And best of all, I'm going to give you $250 for every single person that you send in to me. And it's as easy as sending me their name and number. So I sell the fact of, hey, for every view, you can make 250. What? And then I go into my little spiel. But if you're not utilizing social media, and you gotta have a hero. Like I'm the hero. I'm the guy that's making it happen. And if there wasn't a me making it happen here, it probably wouldn't be happening. So find your hero, your person that's bought in, your person that's gonna give 100% to not only do the videos themselves, but to inspire the salespeople to do it themselves. That's the key, because everyone knows Billy Sherm already. I need them to know the Jorges, the Leannes. I need them to know Dan. I need them to know Little John. I need them to know Nick. That's the goal, man. That's the goal. Inspire happiness, humor, and use social media to do it.
Well, you heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. It's not AI. It's not third-party listing sites. It's not some crazy service drive acquisition, but it's actually your team having fun and a good culture that can help project your store and get you to the next level. Like Billy's store is number 4 in the area, probably going to be number 1 next year. So, Billy, thank you so much for your time here today.
Hey, brother, thank you, man. I look forward to growing with you. And follow me at Billy Sherm on all platforms, baby. Woohoo! Happy New Year.